Would you draft for best player available? Yeah, I would go with the best player available because there's just not many blue chip type players at premium positions, and so in this draft,
Welcome back in, Gad.
my opinion, that's Jeremiah Love coming back out of Notre Dame.
Good to see you again, man. Glad you're here.
He shot up the board. There was Jackson yesterday at a Jefferson that he's been Cardinals might have he's been talked about. Really, one of the most talked about prospects leading into this draft is Jeremiah Love. And then over the last 48 hours, Mike G, then you've got Jordan Tyson, receiver out of Arizona State. Would he be the first receiver taken? They're thinking of Hayden Parnell Tate, receiver Ohio State. He's been projected to be the top one at this point. So if you had to pick one of those two in the top seven that we see in shoot up draft boards, which of these two players would you jump on and why? Jeremiah Love, he's a complete back. Not only is he a great running back, 63 receptions. He's going to be dynamic out of backfield. He's explosive, which we're looking at here. He's also a very good pass protector, and he doesn't fumble. I love Jordan Tyson. Looking at high points the ball here, but he's had durability issues. And typically, if you've been hurt in college, you don't become more durable in the NFL. So the tiebreaker to me is Jeremiah Love is the more complete player, and he's the more durable player. Yeah, I agree with my former general manager and Mike C. I think Jeremiah Love is the top rated prospect in this draft. He's such a clean prospect. Never fumbled one time at Notre Dame. Explosive to take the distance from any point on the field. And I just think the added dimension in the passing game, he could be one of your top two receivers on almost any team. That's how valuable he is in the passing game. So if I had to pick one, it would be Jeremiah Love. And how about this? Recently, within the last 24 hours, his teammate, Darian Price, the other running back in that Notre Dame backfield, he's a guy that's sticking on the box. I'm telling you, if he's a running back or a receiver, this Jeff Pessis is no good talent in that position. And look, you guys know, the NFL draft is the least sure thing in sports. You're playing the odds that it works 50-50. Knowing that it's not a sure thing, Woody, I'm going to start with you. Looking at this draft, what is the most sure thing this year? You keep coming back to the same name, Jeremiah Love. In my opinion, and I know, he plays the running back position and is so dependent on a lot of different factors. But if we just talk about pure talent in this draft, for me, it's Jeremiah Love. Like the explosiveness, the size, the fact that he's never fumbled one time in college, such a bright, smart player, and he offers so much in the passing game. I think he's has the cleanest and the highest upside of any player in this draft. See, I'm going to go with our old team, the New York Jets at two. They're going to take either David Bailey or Argo Reese. Not exactly going out on the limb, but of the 10 million mocks, if they have all 10 million of them, I can pick one of those two players. So, they're both really good players. Argo Reese, one of the youngest players in the draft.
Welcome in. Welcome in. No giveaways, but let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Everything on the back wall is live.
I don't think you get to go wrong with either player.
Appreciate you being in. Check the show notes. I'm a quadriplegic. So no giveaways, but if I can help you out with something, let me know, man. If you PC something.
Thank God you're not running a franchise. You would have pulled a Mike Dick
and
Henry the entire draft.
Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Appreciate you being in. Appreciate you being in.
No, I wouldn't do all of that, but I just believe in the talent. I think this dude is going to be a superstar when he comes into the NFL.
Just looking for some direction where somebody maybe wants to go. All prices are negotiable. Those are just last comps that I did. I don't sit around and do a whole lot of comps. So if you can find something that's fair for both, go get it. Start this Arroyo though at 2 RPA. I'm starting him at 20.
Enjoy the pleasure of
2 RPA. The Scene Chicken Super Bowl winner. If you can share, like, heart, follow, anything, just to make the algorithm work in my favor, I really appreciate it.
Visit myrawtruth.com. Talk to your dermatologist about your symptoms and treatment. Good time, best time, all the time. Come see the Royal Caribbean. Yeah. First lineup is here. Whoa.
Welcome in, Nick. How are you, brother?
Every Domino's pizza is half off online. Every single piece. Like what? I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm just gonna get half off from
Appreciate you being in, man.
So go to
Kind of running what I got. If there's something you're interested, any Commanders autos, I've got CMC Dragon Scale,
America, let me be clear. If your car breaks down and you're
VT. Is that Virginia Tech? No, Virginia Tech autos. I wish I had. I do follow that guy right there. No CMC autos. No, Nick. Thank you. Thank you so. I mean, thank you for asking, man, and engaging. I have CMC in his rookie Dragon Scale, but they're tucked away. I PC CMC a little bit. I do have some JD5 sitting around somewhere.
Booking.com has all kinds of
I've been starting to get back into JD5. Welcome in, Goat. Welcome in, guys. Appreciate you if you're in here. No giveaways, but how much on Josh? So I do 300 for the stained glass. I'm at 9. If he wins the Super Bowl, just goes up. But I'll take it. I think he does. I don't know. Man, I love that stained glass. Well, I'm just trying to get people in, guys. I'll run Caleb at a bone at a select. But yeah, for Josh, I would do. I mean, I graded that one, so just covering grading costs, that's the 20. I can sell Bex PSA for 300. The one thing with this grading with PSA, they tell you what they'll buy it back for, so it's hard when people come in and ask for it. 'Cause it's like, yeah, but I can sell it.
You know this feeling. You should know the facts. The eczema medication you take may not be right for you.
RPA Royal
Talk to your dermatologist about your symptoms.
on the eye black.
She wants. And it's constructive feedback. And lollipop.
Or just feedback.
I'm going to make something of this job.
No.
Honey, let's say about one thing. Just try to feel for one's pleased. Ford Center, brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need.
Today, the NFL game moving on the clock. We've been on the clock, by the way. We went all the way back to the senior. Yeah, we know the draft starts in Mobile. You've been busy doing all the draft prep even prior to your final mock draft Thursday morning. Yeah. How do you feel about it? I mean, look, I don't want to brag about the fact that I'm going 32 for 32, but if I were more of a bragger guy, I probably would do business in Canada trade. Of course, yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So what's the biggest thing you're keeping an eye on in round one? Let me get back on track. Can I say that the opening of the offensive pass
Accounting is subjective, just in general. I think people often overlook that fact. They think these players are ranked one through 256, and that's exactly how they're going to go. But I do think the offensive tackle order is particularly compelling this year. You see how Bell has them ranked right there. You see Maui Noah. I think Monroe Freeling could be a top 2 offensive tackle drafted this year. What is surprising is he's a number 1 tackle off the board. Each of these guys represent other different skill sets, slightly different size profile, and teams run different teams. And what one team values versus what another team values, I think is going to dictate how this order goes. Lots of offensive tackle new teams down the first round. I can't get a great grip of how this order is actually going to go.
I was going to say, any team in the NFL can make an argument to draft an offensive line.
Like, no one has enough.
And that's a good crop of them right there. Now we know we're going to hire Freeman Connolly, and as you're going through this down round 1 to mock draft, you're going to keep your eye on the offensive line. What else grabs your attention? Maybe someone that can rise up in this draft.
Well, maybe how about a team that could potentially move on up in the draft order because of the trade? I just look at this draft. Now is not a great draft. Having all these cuts in the later rounds not as important as having a few players in this draft class who can make your team. The Detroit Lions are a team that does not want to lose 8 or 9 games again. Yeah. Brad Holmes, their GM, is unafraid to be audacious and bold. He's not the kind of guy that subscribes to consensus mock drafts and consensus big boards. If there's a player that slides a little bit that the Lions value, they're at 17 right now. Right. Would it totally stun me if he starts dialing up teams 6, 10, 11, 12, 13? Not at all. This team definitely needs offensive line help. Taylor Decker no longer with the franchise. There's a pass rush. This team needs more pass rush opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. Is enough of a highly graded enough on their board. They say, you know what? He's on SM pick, but close to it, right? Let's move on up that order to get a guy who can impact our roster right. I think there's a ton of things that can make it that far. That's consistent. Yeah, and that's the consistency of it, right? You don't know who's going to make a move so much good. Eventually, it's going to be wild to see what happens. Please sleep on a player. Yeah. And there's one that ends up being a stronger. Like, how did that guy get that? Yeah. Without football fans, this is not. It's Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker from Texas Tech. He won every defensive award this past season. 7 forced fumbles, interceptions. This is a former Virginia quarterback who made the transition to linebacker at Texas Tech on a defense got maybe 6 guys that could get drafted. He was the best and most productive player last year, along with David Bale. You and I saw him at the Senior Bowl. All he did was continue to turn the football over for teams. He was greatly athletic testing with combine as well. I don't know if the first round is likely for Jacob Rodriguez, but given the fact that after Sonny Styles, there's some ambiguity about who the number 2 linebacker in the class is, Jacob Rodriguez will look brilliant in how responsive he was when we were leaving multiple backs. They'd likely be all pro entire career. But he knows that I got to do it right. Yeah, so there's going to be some fireworks. Who's going to be the party? Who's going to sports outside?
Let's turn our attention to the ICE NFL playoffs are underway. The Hurricanes in double overtime have taken 2-0 series lead over the Senators. Carolina seemed to have the game won in the first overtime, but a goal was waved off and Jordan Martin missed on a rare playoff overtime penalty shot. Martin got a second chance to play hero though, scoring the game winner in the second extra frame for a 3-2 team victory. Game 3 Thursday night in Ottawa. All right, good to have our NHL analyst CJ Subban for a couple of minutes with us right now. Game 2 was as chaotic as it could get compared to the team winning Game 1 in a shutout. So, PJ, what stood out most that Carolina took a 2-0 series this year?
These teams just won't be denied. I mean, just when you think that, Carolina's going to take over the game and Ottawa's out of it, they claw their way back in and move back and forth for both games, really. So, this is going to be.
I mean, I haven't got any questions.
So far that we've seen maybe in his career, but definitely this season. So, Ottawa, I want to see what's going to happen to them going back home. I think they have their opportunity to close the game out. They just didn't finish. So they're going to have to finish their opportunities going back home.
The Red Sox Sabres and Bruins Game 2 is tonight, 48 hours after Buffalo fans celebrated to their heart's content after their first playoff win in 14 years. PK, what's the concern level, though, for the Sabres staying the course after a highly emotional victory?
Well, they're going to have to get their emotions in check and quit. That was my biggest worry about them in game one, but they found a way. Your best player's got to be the best player at this time of the year. My goodness, TNT, the puck out of the pile, big win at a big time and a big moment in the game. So, for me, Buffalo had everything that they needed. The goaltending was there. I thought Lindy Ruff was proposed in panic when the team wasn't playing great. They stayed the course. So I think game one was indicative of what we should expect from the Buffalo Sabres. This is a different team than what we've seen over the past years. It's a team that's going to have a long run.
Yeah, a lot of games sneaked up on the ice. Our particularly like you know, Tuesday, I gotta ask you about the fans. The
Oh,
fans
yeah.
are all my time. First of all, what you got on because I might worry about
Welcome in. If you're in here and there's anything interesting, let me know. Everything is live on the back wall. That's Furphy to 5. Luca.
We know the pants, and the Blues definitely look like they're thinking in those pants. So, yeah.
Nick's Fireworks. On his rookie, I would probably be at right about 10. Chicken.
tonight was game 2, double headers. Canadians Lightning at 17th, then Mammoth, Golden Knights are on
Appreciate you guys for being in. Royal on the sea chickens. Start this with below comp. Go get it. True RPA. Super Bowl winner.
Moderate to severe eczema with an unbearable itch. When it's uncontrolled, despite topical treatments, relief itch past the clear skin at last.
I've got at 320. I would come down to 300 for it. Mint 9 stained glass. I like your profile picture, Jeffrey. That's fun too.
Side effects are headache, joint pain, highs, and migraine.
No love on the immaculate deal. Immaculate. No one likes immaculate. Y'all don't like immaculate, do you? I love it. I love immaculate products.
These are Hydro can improve daily abilities and reduce muscle weakness.
My treatment, my way.
Matthew Golden, number to 299.
Those users allergic to the ingredients, it can increase risk of infection and serious allergic infusion or infection-related reactions. Get help right away if you have rash, hives, swelling of the face, lips, throat, or tongue, breathing problems, low blood pressure, or tongue pain. Tell your doctor if you have infection or fever, high blood pressure, chills, or shivering, chest, stomach, or back pain, vaccinations, allergies, or kidney problems. Most common side effects include respiratory and urinary tract infections, headache, and injection site reactions.
I think I too a self-injection.
Reducing my symptoms. Best treatment? My way. Ask your neurologist about Vidor Hydro.
The shopping cart's master. We worry we don't like the case of such a
That's what we revolve around the shopping cart. That doesn't have to be protected by this stuff.
It feels good to get going if you got it. The most affordable German engineered car brand in America is also the most fun. High performance handling, style, and space. Not to mention slow inducing turbo. What are you waiting for? Get in the driver's seat during Volkswagen Driver Days. Get 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2026 Atlas during Volkswagen Driver Days. Can't hire you. It's a good day for a good deal at Outback. Get down under favorites like the Aussie 3-course starting at $14.99. Any reason is a good reason to celebrate at Outback. That was intro to yoga, more like intro to me trying to.
Golden numbered. You guys come in and out. Let me know what y'all want. I mean, I don't have giveaways, so I mean, if you let me know, I'll holler at you down there. See you in and out, brother.
Also, this is
I don't understand that.
play. Download today. You usually pay $5 and $50 hits it with side tracks. Right. It's good. Right. What is it?
Like the giveaways are not even worth staying in a room. I don't get that.
Why did I have you fired up?
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm most excited to have something. The Stanley Cup playoffs. Tonight on ESPN and ESPN.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. And that's why having life insurance is so important. Ethos lets you get life insurance in minutes, 100% online, no matter.
Welcome in, Ryan.
If you need a new roof, think again and save thousands. We'll help you put off a high cost of a roof replacement for at least 5 years. Your turn. We're America's most trusted roofer because we always try to save your roof rather than replace it. We'll restore your roof for a fraction of the cost of a new one. But don't wait. If your roof needs too much protective coating, it's too late. Call now or scan the code, and we'll give you an assessment of your roof for free.
Can't start stuff at $1 here, guys, but get your money, get your steals. Just don't have the room to start stuff at $1.
Pittsburgh head coach Jim Rogers is old coach in Green Bay now with Pittsburgh. Mike McCarthy had to say things about this and where they stand. That's how he's doing sports day.
Nothing's changed from that. That's the question someone always said. I think Aaron is probably more in tune than we would realize, but I have confidence in where he would be the day he would arrive if that's his decision. But what I've learned through, instituting in our season program, there are benefits in areas where the veterans are. So we're talking about the quarterback position. So this is very beneficial plan for Will Mason right now. There's been all the reps today in the last 2 days, and it's just great work. And you see it improve from one day to the next, that's the benefit for it. So all those things factor. But I'm comfortable where we are. And, giving him the space to make this decision.
He handled that perfectly here. They were saying things about saying things, give the young guys credit that he wants. I was still waiting for his return for year 22. What, if any, effect will this have on Pittsburgh's draft plan?
Well, now the Steelers have finalized their draft plans with or without Aaron Rodgers. They were hoping that they would get official word from their veteran quarterback before the draft. That didn't happen, but this is a team that could draft a quarterback in that middle round range. Maybe Orchard Garrett Nussmeier out. Alabama Ty Simpson if he falls. You have options if you want to go that route. It won't be in the first round, most likely. But for now, this should go smoothly because they like Will Howard in the draft in the late round last year. He can run some of the off-season program as Mike McCarthy said, along with Mason Rudolph. And they can draft a guy, put him in there, see what the young guys can do, and then Rodgers can gracefully roll into Pittsburgh in late May, early June, and kind of how things went last year and the year before, and the year before. 28 years. He knows the off. Nobody gets there. He decides to show up. He shows up. State of Pennsylvania is a domino away to see all of these people are going to move AJ Brown. Jefferson is likely to go to the Patriots. What can you share with us about this? Well, that's still an expectation now from people like Chelsea inside the league that once June 1st comes, he can become a Patriot. If the Eagles can save $27 million on their dead cap, well, that's $27 million if they trade him after June. But they can get wacky if the Patriots decide to take a receiver late in the first round, right? Like there's nothing written right now that AJ Brown is going to be traded. That's just the expectation. So it will be interesting to see how the Patriots handle the draft. And we'll see. Now, meanwhile, the Eagles have taken out a bunch of slots on receivers. Trevor Doctarian with out of Green Bay is more of a role player. Hollywood Brown, Elijah Moore. So they've gotten bodies in there for that new offense of Sean Mannion. They could take a crack at a receiver at some point in the draft. Typically, their MO is offensive line. There could be some good offensive tackles in the 20s of the day.
And you could see them take, in fact, they should take a receiver if AJ Brown is on certain things. They built insurance. You could also use this for playing against Chiefs. Yeah. They can add that in the draft. What's the word about Kansas City first?
So Kansas City has been open. I'm told some moving up or down, but they will probably ultimately stay put. Ruben Bain, the pass rusher out of Miami, is a name to watch. I'm told, and he's under consideration for them, along with some other players. They'll have their short list. I'm told cornerback, receiver, pass rusher are all positions on the radar, along with offensive line. They've looked at some of those top guys. So this is a huge crucial draft for them. And you talk to people at Kansas City, they know that they have to get some cheap labor and some good cheap labor to really try to further the new championship run.
It was a month or two ago from Mount High. I don't remember if it was two or there's been so many. And one of them, he had Kenyon Sadiq, tight end, Oregon, going to Kansas City, which would be absolutely striking and make a lot of sense.
Yes, I like it because of Travis Kelce's age. They're very similar. When you talk to teams about Sadiq, they mention Travis Kelce, cheap or not. So he would be a nice compliment. I don't think he goes that high, but we'll see. If it's 29 century, maybe they can move up a little bit to the lot.
I can't wait to get to Pittsburgh.
Teams play game 2 of their first round series tonight. Let's recap. Game 1, the Celtics obliterated the Sixers on Sunday, and were trailing in a 31-point victory. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum combined for 51 points, while the Sixers offense stalled, managing just 4 3-pointers. Victor Wembanyama introduced himself into the postseason with 35 points and a 111-98 win. West surpassed Tim Duncan for the most points by a Spurs player in a playoff game. San Antonio led that man 21. The Rangers did not have Luka Doncic or Austin Reeves. However, Luka Kennard stole the show to take the opener against Houston. Kennard went for 27, making all 5 of his three-point attempts as Los Angeles won 107-98. All right, joining us now is our basketball analyst, the great Janae Azumide, with us right now. And the Lakers are essentially playing with house money as they enter tonight again as home underdogs, despite Kevin Durant's knee injury, keeping him at the game time decision tonight. What will be the key for LA to go 2-0 in this series?
I like that you mentioned Luke Kennard's performance because the Lakers really had a fulsome, in some ways, game 1 win versus the Rockets. The Houston and me is still crying because Kevin Durant was not able to play. But I was moved by his comments about LeBron James because LeBron James was down 2 of their top players, and Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. That's about 50 points sitting right there on the bench. And instead of playing hero ball, which LeBron James has the right to do after all of these years, he trusted in his teammates in that moment. And that's what Luke talked about. That's why LeBron James had 13 assists. That's why Luke had 27 points. And he went 5 for 5 from 3. It's the ability to trust and his teammates when the going gets tough. That's what makes LeBron James great, and that's why they have the edge right now. Up 1 game in the series.
Yeah, LeBron at age 41 surpassed John Stockton as the oldest player with 10 assists in a playoff game. Let's stay out west with Wemby and the Spurs. He's coming off an incredible playoff game. That Spurs San Antonio's game 1 win. What does Wemby need to do in his playoff encore?
Step out on the floor and do what he normally does. Because it's Wemby's world, and we are just living in it. Victor Wembanyama with a playoff debut for the ages. He walked into game 1 and just dominated. And now speaking into walking into game 2, he's walking in as the unanimous defensive player of the year. All he has to do is stay aggressive and keep letting the game come to him because the Blazers defensively shot 0 for 11, 0 for 11 when he was the primary defender. No one made a bucket. And then offensively, he was the youngest center to make 5 threes in a playoff game at 22 years old. This man is a cheat code. He has to stay aggressive, let the game come to him, use his basketball IQ, and the sky's the limit, literally, for Victor Wembanyama.
Look, you mentioned Wemby being the DPOY. Wemby scored on all 8 defenders he faced, and on defense, he held the Blazers to 1 of 12 shooting when contesting those shots. That's why he's the defensive player of the year. Let's talk Sixers. Celtics. Jason Tatum coming off a near triple-double in his first playoff game, then carrying his Achilles. That's just incredible to say out loud. But today, what are you watching from JT as he continues to build his confidence on the floor?
It's his playmaking. I am thoroughly impressed with his not only physical dominance so early coming back from injury, but more so his mental resolve and his IQ as well. Because it's hard to jump back into the mix knowing that your team is trying to compete to not only come out of the East, but win another championship. And the Boston Celtics have been a revelation, and he has been at the center of that as of late. When you think about his performance, he made an impact on both ends of the floor. He scored or assisted on 42 of the 81 points available while he was on the floor. That's 52% of the points during that time. His teammates shot 7 for 10 off his passes. He had 7 assists. He dropped 25 points and got 11 rebounds. A year ago, this man was facing probably one of the toughest challenges of his career, and now he's bounced back and he's have been honestly just one of the best comeback stories I've seen in a while.
The Celtics just a well-oiled machine, and JT is fitting in like the perfect puzzle piece that he is for that franchise. And then Jim McKay with the latest information.
Always. Let's head to the NFL, and this just in the Sports Center. Patriots coach Mike Vrabel addressed the media today for the first time since pictures surfaced showing the coach is going to be reported by Anna Rossini at a luxury hotel. Rossini has resigned from her job with the Athletic and the fallout from the photo. Here's what Vrabel had to say today about that situation.
Thank you for your patience that you've shown in a personal and private matter for me and obviously everybody involved. I know that's not easy for you, and I respect that. I appreciate your efforts in doing so. I understand I could have addressed you guys sooner, but it was important to me to have a conversation with the players, which I did yesterday, very candidly. We began our off-season program, which everyone is excited to be a part of. Stacey had mentioned the players' availability, and it's never my intention to have them speak to you or address you.
Oh, Brett, yeah, I'm not talking. I'm sorry. I was Jace. Yeah, I was literally just sitting here listening to Vrabel, thinking, "What the heck did you do, man? I didn't know about all this Diana. I didn't know it was Diana Rossini. That's nuts, Braves. What are you doing?"
One that should be celebrated.
How much on the laundry tag for Randall?
You know, I've had some difficult conversations with people that
I'd run it at right at 100. I'm sorry, Brett. I cannot. I can't believe freaking Braves, dude. Damn it. That is not the Patriots way. Oh my gosh. Vrabel, what are you doing?
Private to ourselves, care deeply about this football team, and excited to coach them. I also know that I'm going to attack each day with humility and focus. And what I can promise you is that the family, this organization, the team, the staff, the coaches, everybody, our fans, most importantly, will get the best version of me going for. That's what I know, and I'm excited to do that. But I wanted to just address this and thank you for your patience in dealing with the private and personal.
Again, those are the first comments Vrabel has made on the situation entering his second season.
Vrabel, I can't believe that. I cannot believe it was Diana Rossini. We all know. We all knew. Vrabel and Diana Rossini. I was wondering who the heck the reporter was.
I used to think that nothing can stop me. Then I faced bladder cancer, and even leaks that I thought I could not run, but I knew I had to stay in the game. So take it from me. Don't be afraid to try the pin guards. It changes everything. But you.
Go ahead. Rank the volume. We got you. USPS has full truth daily had a big product for the past 46% of 5 years. So USPS route advantage. Go back. Stay in our secure network. Lock the door. Lock. For full visibility. Near real-time practice. Affordable pricing. For peace of mind. USPS route advantage.
Howie Long on card.
Sorry, Steve. Pick up my game day drip. Get the game. You watching me. Hold on to me. And if you don't have the right auto coverage, you can pay for that yourself. But switch to Allstate. You can save hundreds. That's cool. Steve.
John, they say with Lavazza, you'll become a maestro.
Yeah.
Maestro of coffee.
so it has nothing to do with music. It does. Just coffee. Coffee. Shall I go again? Please don't.
Enjoy the pleasure of a masterfully crafted coffee and feel like an Italian barista at home.
Don't do my coffee.
Discover the
That's probably too much. I wouldn't bid there. I wouldn't bid there, guys. I mean,
The Russians have used black Russian on plates in certain brands. Now, with Benzelics comes back to clear skin. Only Benzelics targets and blocks IL-17A plus F to calm inflammation. Most people got 100% clear skin. Some not to
no Austin Reynolds. I wish I had an Austin Reynolds sports card. That'd be cool. That would be cool. No, this guy on the laundry tag, that is a fair price.
Not to say I'm back to clear skin with Benzelics. Ask your dermatologist about Benzelics, also approved for psoriatic arthritis and HS. America, let me be clear. If your car breaks down and your plan is to hope it won't cost too much, you're good. Done. Sayonara. Hope will not pay the bill. Hope ain't gonna replace your transmission. Hope isn't a defense I've ever heard of. That's why I ride with CarShield, America's most trusted auto protection. I'm talking an elite level defense that helps save drivers money when unexpected car repairs. And you know, I love it with the things. All it takes is one call with CarShield. You could be riding just like me. Car breakdown can wreck your wallet.
Since it came on, and then my time belt went out of nowhere. Over $4,600.
I got a check engine light and a huge bill to fix it. But if you got endurance, you could never pay out of pocket for a car repair again.
It was like almost a $6,000 job. Insurance covered it.
My first year with endurance, they covered up $14,000. With endurance, your car's most expensive parts are covered, plus hundreds more. I've had 5 claims for over $12,000. Plus, you can take your car to any certified mechanic you want. I just call Endurance, tell them what my customer needs, and Endurance takes care of it. If your car's under 20 years old, the insurance has you covered with unlimited miles. Right now, you can get $300 off any plan, plus a year of elite benefits, a $2,000 voucher for free, all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 1-800-973-5216 for a free quote.
Clear back. I mean, that's or not. They just melting down. We turn on tonight on an 11-game losing streak. New York 10-inning defeat at Chicago Wrigley Field on Sunday, March longest losing streak since 2004. Longest April skin of franchise. It's been the fastest for that every 15 losses since 1983. That's offense has managed 19 total runs during the streak, being fewest from 11-game spans since 2018. That's a batting 150. Running scored to get to that time of one Soto. No team has ever lost 12 straight games on each first season that year. Only 3 teams in baseball history have won that 11. Most recently, 2017, the Dodgers. It gives me great pride and joy bringing senior engineer Jeff Passan in studio, in person. Look, you know the drill. Someone's going to get the lion's share of this blame in New York, as they should. But Carlos Mendoza, the manager, he knows that better than anyone. Should he be to blame for some of this?
Let's put it this way. The easiest thing that the Mets can do right now is fire Carlos Mendoza. And if this homestand where they're going to be playing 9 games against teams in Minnesota, Washington, teams that aren't good, frankly, or not expected to get. If this does not go well, then I think Carlos Mendoza really could be in trouble. And some Mets fans would argue he should be there at this point. They've lost 11 in a row. This is a team with the second highest payroll in Major League Baseball, with a star in Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor. Pitching staff that should be better. Yeah, a lot of this is about the construction of the team, though. And let's not forget that they completely flipped the team this offseason. Pete Alonso gone, Brandon Nimmo gone, Jeff McNeil gone, and the players that they brought in, whether it's Bo Bichette, there are plenty, frankly, everyone that they've brought in at this point. Marcus Simeon, Jorge Polanco, they just haven't performed.
There's a lot of money out there for the Mets. They spent it. They're not getting the investment and the return on their investment. Mendoza does have the clubhouses. Public support from Cisco Lindor. Mendoza is doing a quote fantastic job. This is not on here that comes down to the players. So at least they're saying the right things. Every one of the NL East has been looking up the Braves who just pulled off their sixth straight win. Tying the Cubs for the longest active streak. So what's catching your eye about how Atlanta take this win?
Matt, this is the Braves team that we've expected for the last two seasons. 2 years ago, made playoffs last year. It was a complete mess, but they're getting production up and down the lineup, and their pitching that's been really impressive. Because right now, Spencer Strider, injured list, Spencer Schwellenbach, injured list, AJ Smith-Shawver, Hurston Waldrop. They looked like their rotation was going to be a mess, but Bryce Elder has been good, Ronaldo Lopez has been good, and of course, Chris Sale going out there. He is the player that he is, the Hall of Famer that he is. Matt Olson looks more like his MVP type self, and you look at those numbers right now, it's really the Dodgers, the Braves, and everybody else. That's right. The Dodgers and Braves are 1-2 in runs scored. The Dodgers and Braves are 1-2 in runs allowed as well. So those are the two best teams in baseball right now, and I'm frankly not sure who a close third would be.
But we were talking about the entertaining division in the NL 100%. Everyone's good in the
Which you never thought.
Never thought.
It is not the Comedy Central anymore.
No, it's not. It's actually fun to watch. Speaking of Comedy Central, a new episode of your pod, Sources Notes at Passion. I'm kidding, it's good. It's out today. You spoke with last season's World Series manager, Dave Robertson. How about Yoshinobu Yamamoto entering the set?
You said everyone's available. Jack Harris follows up with a question. Even Yamamoto? And he said, no. When did that change?
That was for sure right before that's gamesmanship because I didn't want them to know that he was available. Did I know he was 100% available? No, but I'm not going to say he's available to then have Yamamoto on their radar at all.
Is he on your radar?
Hell yeah. but I was still surprised. I was still surprised because momentum is a real thing. What he had done to us, game 2 and game 6, you're like, damn, that is a tough freaking matchup right now. So I was just more surprised that he was physically able to do it. What Yamamoto did it is a legendary performance on the biggest stage of this game.
It's a great interview. And by the way, this is more than it's a show. It is not a podcast. It is an absolute show. Great job with that interview. Yamamoto going tonight.
Numbered golden for $1. Numbered golden for $1.
Los Angeles Dodgers, Yoshinobu Yamamoto is the soul. He's the guy who, after pitching a complete game, after going out in game 6 and throwing 6 billion innings, the next day comes out and says, you know what? You need me right now. And I don't care how my arm feels. I don't care what kind of shape I'm in after a long October. I am going to rescue this team. And that's precisely what he did. He's been the ace of the Dodgers for 2 years running now. He's got Tarek Skubal. He's got Paul Skeens, the 2 best pitchers in baseball. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is right there behind.
Is it even fair at this point? Is it even fair to not just have
No, but you know what, Matt? It's baseball. And that's what the guys kept saying. John Schneider kept saying baseball happens. And in baseball, even a team as dominant as the Dodgers and go out and win 110, 115 games this season, in short series, you never know what's going to happen.
He does. And we also defer payments on his salary like the Dodgers did for everyone in the roster. Defer it for 3 decades.
Playing in the air across college football, Lane Kiffin and LSU continue spring practice today. They wrap up spring practice Friday and kick off their season September 5th against Clemson. Then Lane Kiffin spoke about how things have been going so far in Baton Rouge. Take a listen to Smith on Sports Center.
So many new guys. It's come along well. I think in general, just the understanding of our expectations, how to practice, how to work, how to prepare, that's come a long way. And I'm really pleased that in general of the players, you never, in my opinion, never this time of year, we have enough of these players to make a really deep run. But I do know this, we have really good culture kids. The coaches that come here have really bought in, the ones that stayed and really bought into the changes.
Lane Kiffin and his staff at the transfer portal farm this offseason among the key additions. Quarterback Sam Levitt, who's passed for nearly 3,000 yards at the 2024 Big 12 champion Arizona State Sun Devils, and Bruce Brown, who scored 712 receiving yards at Kansas State.
They are loaded. Coming up, we got the best. This posted done by Nikola Jokic is impressive, but not the number one play. They was better for this done. Coming up next. I noticed watching that video of the that.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's spring somewhere.
Oh,
Like
you're complaining?
I'm happy that Lane Kiffin was able to wear shorts and it's
This man has been a quarter for how many years? It's not that you can ever get You're not allowed. You're not allowed to commit to the You're not allowed.
horrible German engineered car brand in America. Also in this. I want handling, style, and space. Not to mention slow inducing turbo. It's way to think. Get in the driver's seat during Volkswagen driver days. Get 0.9% APR or $1,000 something in most like the 2026 Tiguan during Volkswagen driver days.
If it hurts you to watch this, you'll want to hear this. The eczema medication you're taking may not be right for you. Visit myrawtruth.com and talk to your dermatologist.
Rookie die cut. Puka. Die cut.
Go ahead. Play the volume. We got you. USPS is increasing possibly have 86% in the last 5 years. For peace of mind. USPS proud today.
It's a good day to make your neighbors jealous. Our best lineup is here. Loads.
Howie Long on card to 20 out of flawless.
When kids start making money, we have expert bankers and smart tools to help them manage it.
Howie Long on card to 20 out of flawless.
Make more with you.
I have one in front of me collecting that I could run. That's sitting right here. That I could run for 30. Elijah Arroyo on the eye black. True RPA.
Thanks for that. Authorized lender.
It feels good.
I got it comped at 40, but I'd run it for 30 for you, brother.
150. Normally, Coach T is all business, but today she has a sausage McMuffin for the whole team and a tournament to win. Get more value when you order.
Yes, sir. Beautiful card. Yeah, that's probably about all I got of Seahawks stuff. I did get up to that area though, a couple years ago. Before it got nuts. Pike's Place was so fun, man.
You should know the facts. The eczema medication you take may not be right for you.
I got Mariners. I got
Truth.com. Talk to your
Who do I got?
dermatologist about your symptoms and
Julio.
All right, guys.
This is it. NBA playoff. Almost to the mountaintop. You can choose every year. You put in the work. We're ready. If you stack 2 lasagnas, you can make it one. Inside the NBA lives on ESPN and ABC.
I'm gonna hold that Jays and grade it. Even this Behringer to 10. Like the Surges.
only make money
Huge cards.
selling you the roof. If your roof isn't worn out, just dried out, and with just a little love, you could put off an expensive roof replacement for up to
Can I have cheaper cards? If anybody wants to make some money, make a little bid. I don't do giveaways, man, but I'll do fun stuff. Mr. 81. Mr. 81 at a top scroll on the refractor.
play Mild Chili Live at Seesaw. Perfect for adding flavor your way. What's your way to take it? Stanley Cup playoffs first round continues tonight. Doubleheaders. Canadian Lightning 7 Eastern, the Mammoth Golden Knights are on ESPN2 at 9:30 Eastern. Bruins Sabres 7:30 Eastern. Kings Avs. Yes, the NBA playoffs first round continues tomorrow. Game 2 doubleheader. You got a pair of 1-8 Magic and Pistons. Magic took game 1 at Detroit. Suns at the Thunder. Thunder observed taking game 1 there. The fellas, best in the business. Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq. It's starting at 6 p.m.
All right, time to pucker up, Buttercup. Time to kiss it goodbye. Take you out to the Diamonds. Dodgers at Rockies last night. Got for the second. Max Muncy takes a whole 15 counter yard. 419 feet to right field. Wouldn't be done right there. This time off of Tanner Gordon. Muncy went 4-4 last night as the Dodgers win 12-3. And how about this one for a first? Royals, Jack Caglione gets his first home run of the season. He takes Orioles Kyle Bradish 437 feet dead to center right there. No way he's done. And the Wolves, they definitely need him. They need 7-5 in 12 innings.
And he's going to have to wait for Florida star Thomas Houck said he's coming back to Gainesville. A potential lottery pick. Houck averaged 17.6 rebounds, becomes the highest ranked NBA prospect in almost a decade to return to college. Why? I know. Houck and Alex Condenbook return to the game for Gators will likely be the number 1 ranked team coming into the season. Houck led the Gators in scoring last season while ranked in the top 3 in rebounding and 3-point shooting. He also scored 20 more points for the team, leading 13. Time to have top plays. I'm sure Houck had one during the season. He'll have more next year. Let's keep it in baseball, starting with Ellie De La Cruz, shortstop Reds, NL Central. It's been the fun of the first part of the season, and other than the crazy Reds, one of the reasons why, look at that dive, get up, road. Well done.
Go to the NHL for number 4. Senators taking on the Hurricanes. Game 2, final seconds of regulation. Linus Ullmark throws his body at the puck, makes the save right there. Take a closer look at it. Ooh, right place, right time. A little bit of luck, too. We have more from this game coming up.
Do we? I'll look forward to that. Phillies Cubs, Ian Happ. A long way from left. Over the rope in the net. Look at this. Look at people wearing jackets in Chicago.
It's not spring there. It is not spring there. Take a little bit to heat up. Nuggets, Nikola Jokic doing this. Goes up over Rudy Gobert. Has no regard for life on this one. Didn't know that was in his bag, but hey, that's what it's on top.
Let's just say he doesn't normally do it, or maybe he don't like it. But it was that good of a dunk. Linus Ullmark, this is brilliant. Right here. Look at Ullmark. Gloves say, cool. Senators would lose 3-2 double overtime.
And so this happened. Shooting all around. Red Sox fans are having fun during yesterday's 8-6 win of the Tigers by drinking beer out of their shoes.
That's fun.
No, it's not fun. I don't agree that it's fun. If I was at a game and I started seeing people do that, I'm not gonna lie, it's time for me to exit State Club.
So I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard they actually took some of the marathoners' shoes.
That's disgusting.
And then
That's actually disgusting. There's people throw up during the marathon. People also urinate on themselves during the marathon. You don't want to drink out of that shoe. I'm sorry you.
not to see you're working them on. I'm not doing the
Welcome to ABA Today with Malika Andrews, live from Los Angeles.
Well, Snag, you know what they say? They say series it doesn't start until
A team wins on the road.
heck yeah, well, Anthony Edwards. Already sure by that standard. We got a couple of series here, my friends. Let's start with the game that ended at 1:25 a.m. Eastern time. So that's all the really
Yes.
stayed up for this one because it was an absolute battle. Denver converted on 3 4-point plays in the first quarter. Brian, that's the most in a single quarter in the play-by-play era. So Denver was firmly in control after the first quarter.
From in control for a while.
Yeah, they were. Things took a turn though in the second.
Michael Machado. He's been done. He tried.
If Edwards misses the jumper, but Rudy Bear, Rudy, Rudy, big there.